What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders Awakened. I've had quite a few people asking me to post up my Nightmare Hardcore Summit 25 wave kind of farm build that I've been using. There's lots of good builds out there for this one, but the DST spamming just gets a little tiring, and it's fun to try around, play around with different defenses, of course, see what you can do. Now, the Harpoon is just an absolute beast. Oh, it's doing so good. If its targeting was a little bit better, it would be just an absolutely amazing defense. But when you think about the Harpoon, long, straight lanes with mobs lined up is about a dream condition for the Harpoon, as it does pierce, of course, and it will go through the entire pack. Now, there is nothing more that describes that ideal situation than a flyer lane on the summit. These flyer lanes get pretty darn thick, and all of these flyers are flying in a straight line, just easy pickings for the Harpoon. So starting off right here, I have got a Harpoon and an Ensnare Aura, and that is literally all we need. We will be getting a little bit of help with the copters from some DSTs on the ground. However, just this right here is just a beautiful thing for getting it done on these flyer lanes. Now, if we look down to this southern area here, we've got an aura stack. So we've got a Strength Drain Aura, an Ensnare Aura, and an Electric Aura, which is 2 blockades. And that's really all we've got going down here. I played around with maybe putting a gas trap in down here, but it seemed like it was a little bit overkill. And then we've got gas traps up top there to help assist with those flyers. Coming around and looking at this side of the map, we've got the exact same setup. So Ensnare Aura and a Harpoon. We take a look at this side lane. Now this is the non-ogre lane. So we don't necessarily need a wall on this lane. However, we are using a darkness trap on this lane, although the Harpoon doesn't require any sort of elemental immunity removal. We're putting the darkness in anyway, just because there are heavy kobolds in this lane, and the darkness trap will strip any poison immune kobolds. That way they don't just run right through my Ensnare Aura. I've tried without it and going with a wall here instead, and the walls just seem to not do as well. They seemed like that wall would get blown up. Now, as an alternative here, you could go with a Flame Burst Tower here, since we have the Darkness Trap, and that would give you 1 DU for an Apprentice Wall if you wanted to throw it here. Now, this map does have some mysterious kobolds hitting the core. As you see, I had one here in Wave 18. I was actually watching directly at the core in this side of the map as I was playing through Wave 18, and I never saw a kobold run to it, but sure enough, I got the kobold shot. It doesn't seem like it makes a difference with that random stray kobold shot if you have a wall here or not. So I'm going with what seems to be the most effective route and using a darkness trap, an explosive trap, an ensnare, and a Harpoon. Now moving on along, this is one of our ogre lanes, so we will have a wall here. We've got a blockade with that ensnare and explosive trap, and then 1 Harpoon. It's important to put the Harpoons here and not up here for several reasons. First off, they get a straighter line if they're shooting here, and a greater chance at piercing the packs. But second off, there will be no Dark Elves that aggro to that Harpoon down on the ground like that. Same exact setup over on this side. Blockade, explosive, and an ensnare with that Harpoon in the back. And once again, our very last ogre lane, so blockade, Harpoon, ensnare, and an explosive trap. Now, if we take a look at the main platform here, we've got 4 Deadly Striker Towers, a Darkness Trap, and 2 Harpoons. Now, these Harpoons are for the flyer lanes, so it's real important when placing these guys to not allow them to target down into that area over there, as you don't want any wasted shots going. So when you place your Harpoon, make sure you turn it all the way around so that it is just barely shooting into that flyer lane. If you look at it it's also giving us really, really nice coverage of the main platform with it shooting all the way off to a side this way. Now when you do the same thing here, you've got a little crossfire area up on the side that kills the flyer lanes when the flyers are coming, but also serves as spider clearing off of the main platform here, as there will be lots of spiders that bunch up. Now the spiders are going to drop all around really, but here they're going to fall directly into the darkness trap. In the late waves, you may have an occasional spider that's in the dead zone from the harpoons, which is like right up here where they're not hitting. That will just sit there until you kill it. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to hurt your DSTs. Now, when placing your DSTs, this first one right here, when we place it, I want to make sure that we are only covering the main doorway right over here in this left lane, meaning it is turned around a little bit to the right, and what that is doing is giving me ogre coverage on that far lane over there. Now I better go ahead and upgrade these back up before I completely forget about it. And then when doing these three, this one of course is just pointed dead straight on. The outside ones, it's very important when positioning them not to get them into a position where they're going to be shooting at the wyverns. You want to make sure you angle it so you have like the right side of the cone right at about where that harpoon is sitting. Now what that's going to do is it's still going to give us 2 lanes of flyer coverage here, but it's also only going to target the copter ogre up there, and it's not going to target the flyers. So there won't be any shooting the wrong target. You'll have the target that you want right there for you. Now I think, actually, let me go ahead and do both of these again, because I usually like to alternate the sides. Let's go that one this way. And we'll go this one this way. And then that's going to give us all of the flyer coverage plus the main area. Now, one big benefit of the DST not being focused at all on those flyers is we know that this down here is a heavy, heavy ogre area. Now, with this getting multiple ogres at a time and there being less targets for the DSTs, you're getting more shots directly on the ogres. Now, what I like to do normally is just kind of chillax right here. You all know I'm a big fan of a tower boost monk, so that is usually who I play, but I just kick it right here and basically watch this side of the map. Although this is the heaviest lane, that setup down there is just so powerful with these 3 DSTs supporting it that I just don't even bother looking down there. It's just good game. If I want to know what's going on that side of the map, I normally will just pop up the tactical map and keep an eye on it from there. So here we are at Wave 25. Once again, it is Nightmare Hardcore the Summit, and let's go ahead and give it a run. Now, this particular build will be full AFK for you, other than repairing and upgrading in between waves, all the way up to about Wave 22 or Wave 23. Now, obviously with lower stats, you can do this build with about 2,000 power, 1,000 rate on your Apprentice and on your Squire for the Harpoons. And then if you don't have a Tower Boost Monk like I'm sitting here on, just hop on either your Squire builder that built those Poons or your Apprentice builder that built these DSTs and get yourself that builder bonus. Now obviously the Apprentice would be the best of the two, as you could then get overcharge going on these towers here. Now like I said, I basically just kind of chillax and watch this side of the map and watch what's going on. I just ignore the spiders around me unless one gets stuck on that dead spot right there. That's when I'll pay attention to it. But I'm just waiting to see what's going on, and nothing really happening quite yet. Keeping an eye on that tac map to see what is going on down there behind me. Everything is looking pretty darn solid down there. That is for sure. Now there comes the ogres. I know the ogres are out, so I do want to make sure I keep my tower boost up. And we see the ogre health is just slowly burning on down. Now, those ogres, like I said, I just don't even bother looking that way. I'm more concerned if there's an ogre on this side of the map, and then I'm actually going to help DPS that particular ogre just a little bit. And there's one ogre left down there, and he is getting just chunked into, and he is all gone. So our first wave of ogres has been wiped out. Just want to still keep an eye out with what's going on in Ogreville down below there. You can see the big packs of flyers coming in on the minimap. They are just being completely evaporated by those harpoons. See, we got another ogre out. No ogres on this side of the map so far. If there were any, I would give a little assist on DPSing. It looks like we're getting a build up of Dark Elf Warriors over on that far wall. As long as we don't have an ogre pop on that wall, we should be just fine. So I am not going to sweat that thing, even though it is getting pretty low. Now, if an ogre pops over there, I had better rush my butt over and take care of it. You see that Harpoon is getting a little aggro on this side too. It's taking a few Dark Elf Warrior shots. Just going to keep spraying damage into those side lanes. Keep an eye on what's going on down below me, which all the Dark Elf Warriors are down there. Boy, they are bunching up big time on those walls down there, but we got a lot of power headed that way, so I'm not super concerned about it. Now, this video, of course, is going to be at 30 frames per second. I apologize for that, but it is Summit Wave 25. As you can expect, it is quite the system resource bog, as it just wears you down with the memory leaks and everything by the end on this particular map. When farming this map, I actually don't run it more than twice in a row without restarting the game. It's the memory leaks on it are that bad. I've run it a third time in a row several times and looked, and I just got to the point where I crashed the game. But there we are, Summit Wave 25, pretty chillax and easy peasy. Like I said, pretty much AFK other than repairs and upgrades in between waves, all the way up to about Wave 23, and with relatively low stats. Now, you're not going to be able to AFK it with low stats, but as I mentioned, 2,000 power, 1,000 rate on your Squire and your Apprentice is going to get it done on this map. You will want about 700 range into the DSTs just to make sure you're getting decent DST coverage as well. However, the Summit, although it can be brutal at first look, it's really not too bad. It's not too bad at all. It's kind of a fun little grind. Let's check out our Giraffe. And, wow, really low defense rate roll. Not a very good mythical Giraffe, but could be worse. So that will do it for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to click that like button, and please subscribe to the channel. And I will be back soon with some more Dungeon Defenders in all its forms. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.